Now that we got a day to think about it, let's remember that game. What is up, Fin fans? Yes, we're gonna do a little bit of a deep dive into that Thursday night beautiful victory. Absolutely beautiful victory. Hey man, we were underdogs. We were picked to lose by everybody. We were given 3 points. No one thought the Dolphins had any chance against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go back and look at my preview video. No one had the Dolphins picking the Jaguars except for us Dolphin fans. Even some of us Dolphin fans were like, yeah, you ain't beating the Jaguars. But we did. Not only did we beat them by 18 points, went up 28-7. So, like I said, I got a little bit of a day to think about it, got a day to look at some film, and got a day to take a day to eat some animal crackers and have some juice. You guys know. Go watch the live stream. You guys know. So I brought my buddy in, Brian Burns, who is the founder of the Fin Addicts Network. You guys hear me constantly talk about the Fin Addicts Network at the end of my videos. It's a new partnership I'm doing. So without further ado, let's bring in Brian Burns and let's do a deep dive into that Thursday night blowout against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, you can see I got my buddy here, Brian Burns, creator, founder, Fin Addicts Network. Also, you might know him from Dad Joke of the Day. Brian, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing really good. I wish I had a Dad Joke of the Day ready. We're filming pretty late, so I don't. But yeah, we're really excited what's going on, everything at the Fin Addicts Network. DouglieDoWrong, the DouglieDoWrong has jumped on and wants to be a part of it, so we're super excited about that. We have a lot of things coming on. We also, the Perfectville podcast, which is a really funny group of guys. One in California, one in, I think, North Carolina. They have a podcast. You can find it on, everywhere you can find podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, same things as the Fin Addicts podcast. And we also have a YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/C/Fin Addicts Network. You can find both those shows on there. Douglie already, obviously, you know where to find him. But we have a lot of really exciting things that are coming in and within a week or so. So stay tuned. Follow us at Fin_Addicts. And we currently have a survivor pool that's only $25 to enter. The pot right now is at about $850. The other prize is a Jason Taylor autographed piece of memorabilia. So if by some chance you don't want a Jason Taylor autograph and you win, I will buy it from you. So if you want any info on that, follow us at Fin_Addicts or just email me at info@FinAddictsNetwork.com. But we're super excited about everything that's going on and very grateful Doug has decided to jump on and help us bring just a one-stop shop for everything awesome Dolphins related.
Yeah, man, it's a great. Everything is great. Like Brian said, ton of stuff in the works. It's fantastic. How could I not jump onto this? Like, are you kidding me? You got all the Dolphin stuff in your office. I got all the Dolphin stuff in my office. We got the love of the Miami Dolphins. Come on. But I brought Brian on not only to talk about his fantastic fanatics and all the great stuff, but we're going to do a deeper dive. So, the Dolphins played Thursday. They played till about Thursday night. Everyone probably went to sleep. I'm assuming. I know me and you didn't, but everyone pretty much went to sleep after the game. So now we got a good day. Got to look at everything Saturday. Let's do a deep dive into this game, and that's why I brought Brian in here because Brian, you know your Dolphin stuff, right?
A little bit. I don't know if you see my office or have an idea about it. I own something called the Fin Addicts Network. I may know a thing or two. We'll see.
So we're going to jump in. I wrote a few things down. Brian actually had a very good thing we're going to talk about, but that's going to be the last thing we're going to talk about. I'm going to jump into offensive line play going into the season. For one, I don't know about you, Brian. Offensive line was scaring the crap out of me. We had 2 rookies potentially starting on potentially the outside. I kind of predicted Jesse Davis playing guard. He's actually playing tackle. But the offensive line, and especially Solomon Kinley and Austin Jackson, are actually doing really, really well and helping keep Fitzpatrick upright and actually have a decent, not good, but a decent running game going. What is your thoughts on the offensive line so far, and especially Thursday when we were just doing what we wanted to on offense?
Yeah, this is the biggest bright spot of 2020 thus far. I have never seen offensive line play as bad as I saw last season. It was pitiful. I mean, we couldn't run the ball. We couldn't protect Fitz. I don't know how he made it out alive. But, there was definitely a lot of fear. We brought in, it wasn't just the rookies that came in that started. Solomon Kinley starting, obviously, in Austin Jackson. We all thought that probably Robert Hunt would have gotten in there. But Jesse Davis kept the job at right tackle, but hopefully good things will be coming from Robert Hunt. But yeah, with no preseason games, limited practices, I had no idea that these guys would gel so quickly. We had Richmond Webb on the show the other day, and he was talking about how impressive it is and how it reminds him of when he was playing with Keith Sims, and they got that gel real quick. But yeah, I mean, the passing protection is great. The only sack they gave up last night was not on the offensive line. It was even said by Troy Aikman. Fitzpatrick held the ball too long, decided not to throw it away. I think there's only about 1 or 2 sacks all season that really has been on the O-line, but none of what had happened last year where it's like Fitzpatrick drops back for 1 step and then gets sacked. Like he actually has time to make decisions, and it amazes me how quickly they've come along. And, 4 new starters.
Yeah, I think the stat last year was an average of 2.2 seconds before he got hit, which is absolutely atrocious.
Yep.
Quarterback has no time to do anything. And yeah, that play yesterday where Fitz rolled out and then he kind of just ate a sack. I was like, what do you just throw the ball away? What are you doing there?
It didn't make sense. Troy Aikman said that maybe it was because he was trying to run out the time, but there was 8 minutes left at the time. So it didn't really make sense. He did the same thing against Buffalo. He had a chance to just throw it away and he ate a sack. But I mean, he also set records yesterday, so we'll give him a little slack.
Yeah, his Fitz magic is rubbing off on us. It's starting to make us forget about certain things. So we're talking about the offensive line. Like I said, much better from last year. Literally anything could be much better than last year because it was horrible. And if we're going to talk about something that's much better than last year, running back play. But it's a little different. This conversation is going to go a little bit different because we have Myles Gaskin. He showed up, right? Last year, he was doing his thing, got injured, and all of a sudden, we didn't use him. Now they're using him, and he's doing his thing. But the question is, where is that coming from? Also, what is your thoughts on Breida and Howard and how they aren't getting as much as Gaskin is?
So, Flores spoke today at a press conference, and he said, if you make plays, you get on the field. So Gaskin's been making plays every time he touches the ball, and none of us expected it. And I don't like to do this really, but we had Omar Kelly on this show about a month before the season started, and we asked him about the running back. And as you remember, only about 9 reporters had access to what was going on in training camp. The only running back he mentioned was Myles Gaskin. And obviously we see why now. He's making the plays. The one thing I'm getting, I want Matt Breida to be that guy because I feel like he has a little bit more explosion than Gaskin and can take the, Gaskin can break a play, but he can't for 5 to 10 yards. But I really haven't seen that complete 70, 80 yard, breakaway ability that Breida has. The one thing, though, that's really bugging me is the lack of creativity on the goal line the past few weeks, where it's the double wing with Cox and Smythe, and Howard gets the ball, and he's got a couple touchdowns, but he's also been stopped at the goal line 4 times. It's just really predictable. So I did love yesterday. We finally ran the ball more than we passed the ball, which was what I was expecting with Chan Gailey.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. We were productive on the ground, but I definitely would like to see a little bit more dynamic. We did a pregame on Tuesday, and I was begging for them to do a reverse to Malcolm Perry or Jakeem Grant. And what was the biggest play of the running game? Jakeem Grant.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we see more creativity. They get to use these. They get to use these guys a little bit more. And we'll see where it goes. I do hope Breida gets a bigger role at some point because I think he can be dynamic. I'm shocked by the Howard. I called all season that Howard was going to be a 1,000-yard running back. He reminds me of Lamar Smith when Chan Gailey was our offensive coordinator back in 2000. So I thought it was a slam dunk, but my fantasy teams were all wrong.
Yeah, and I noticed that too because you brought up what Brian Flores had to say, and if you're making plays, if you're the hot hand, he's going to put you in there. Myles Gaskin constantly is getting hit and then bouncing off of it. I think he's 8th in the league in yards after contact because he will get hit, bounce out of it, and get positive yards. Whereas like you see Breida, the Buffalo Bills game, he had that fumble. It looked like his ankle might have got twisted and he like dropped the ball out of pain. But like Myles Gaskin is just doing his thing and ride the hot hand until it's not hot anymore.
Breida hasn't been too bad though when he's given the chance. Last week I was so frustrated because Gaskin had 7 carries and Breida had 7 carries. Gaskin averaged like 6.3 yards per carry. Breida averaged 5.6 yards per carry, yet we threw the ball 47 times.
Yeah.
So even if we don't incorporate Breida as much as I love the fact that we ran the ball 30 times and these guys were producing and let them produce.
Behind that offensive line, those bullies, especially Solomon Kinley, who's just throwing dudes around, keep running the ball. Why not? So we talked about offensive line, we talked about running back. Let's talk about another position that we thought going into the season was the best position on the team. And now after the Bills game, we were like, ugh. But they really, really, really stepped it up Thursday. And I'm talking about the secondary, specifically Xavier Howard, Noah Igbenogany, targeted 6 times, allowed 1 catch for 2 yards, and obviously the Xavier Howard interception. These guys stepped up, especially the rookie having that one-track mind. He forgot about the Bills game, forgot about Stephon Diggs, and just focused on shutting down these wide receivers and Xavier Howard. He had – I think there was like 2 plays where he kind of looked off, like the one where he said no catch, but it obviously was a catch. And then the drop pass where he was like about 5 yards off. And then there's like one other play where he kind of got like turned around. But other than that, the dude was lights out on Thursday. Like really had a bounce back game against the Bills. And like I said, Noah doing his thing. And I'm really happy that these 2 guys bounced back because we're going to get Byron Jones back for the Seattle game. We got over a week and I'm excited. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, you have to love what Noah Igbenogany did. The pedigree of this kid, both his parents being Olympic athletes, he's only been a corner for 2 years. To be, make or break time for him. He got humiliated on nationally TV. And I say humiliated because he gave up 155 and a touchdown to a really great wide receiver. And he's the youngest cornerback in the NFL. So it's not really humiliated. And he didn't even play that bad. He was just like a quarter of a second behind. And, most wide receivers don't make you pay when you're a quarter second behind, but Stephon Diggs is one that will. But to be able to bounce back, to get that off your shoulder and just move forward and have a great game. He actually had his first pass deflection in the NFL last night. It was inspiring to see, and even more so the whole secondary. I'll even say the front 7. They got humiliated just 4 days prior. So it was, it makes me think about Brian Flores and they love this guy and they played for this guy and they came out and they put it on the line and in a short turnaround completely changed their game. Even the defensive coordinator had a lot to do with it. To step up in 4 days, it shows that this coaching staff, they play for them. They want to go for Ryan Fitzpatrick. They want to go for Brian Flores. A couple years ago, we had the Miami Miracle. We had 3 games left, and we could have made the playoffs. And that team quit on Adam Gase. They didn't show up. This was that type of game. This was that Minnesota game of 2018, and we showed up, and we dominated throughout. So it was nice to see that secondary step up. You are positive that Byron Jones is coming back. I am hopeful that Byron Jones is coming back, because that Seattle wide receiving core is scary, and Russell Wilson is currently the MVP of the NFL. So We need Byron Jones. Though, sorry if I take too long. I tend to be a bit long-winded, but I was annoyed last night with Troy Aikman kept talking about how DJ Chark wasn't in the game, who is good and made the Pro Bowl last year.
Mhm.
He did not mention once that Byron Jones was not in the game. Byron Jones is one of the top corners in the NFL, one of the highest-paid corners in the NFL. Finally, at the end of the game, his co-host said, well, the Dolphins are also missing Byron Jones. Like, kind of a big deal. So, yeah, hopefully when he comes back next week, Noah can go in the nickel, and we're a little tighter there, because the nickel seems to be the problem area in that secondary.
Yeah, and it's funny that you brought that up, because I noticed also at halftime, the one highlight they showed was the only touchdown the Jaguars got instead of the 3 other ones that the Dolphins got. I was like, seriously? Like, I get that they're in Jacksonville, but come on. Like, it makes me laugh. I guess we still have to earn the respect of the media. I guess that's the way it is. But
did you see the meme this morning actually it was put out last night by the Miami Dolphins social media?
No.
Everybody on NFL Network, all 4 analysts chose the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they showed them making their picks and then put an oops next to it because they were all wrong. So they were obviously all thinking the Jags had that game, and we went in there and stomped them in their hometown.
Yeah, man. And it was awesome. I was saying in my live stream, I said in my post-game video, I'll say it again. I can't remember the last time going in like 8 minutes left in the game, up 2 scores, and you're able to like take a breath and be like, oh, we just have to play sound defense and we're going to win this game. And then getting a stop on their own 20 to just be able to run the clock out and kick a field goal to ice it complete. It was amazing. And it's been forever since we've been able to sit back and just breathe, you know?
Dude, literally, like, when is the last time that happened? It was, I think, 2015, the Houston game, and the
Tennessee
Houston
Titan game.
and the Titan game. Yeah, we got that same quick start. We finished strong. We haven't had a game where we could relax since then. We got strong last year against Cincinnati. We thought we could relax, and then next thing you know, we're in overtime. But it was beautiful to get off to that fast start. On a side note, that Xavier Howard interception won me a bet for $387. If they would have scored and gone on the over, I wouldn't have gotten. So very excited about that, icing the game that way.
Nice. So you actually brought this line up, and I want to talk about defensive line. The first kind of few drives, I noticed they were struggling again to get pressure. But what I did notice is once we went up and once we stayed up by 2-3 scores, and then all of a sudden, Minshew started becoming one-dimensional. And we didn't really have to worry. I think Minshew scrambled once. So we finally had a quarterback we didn't have to worry about scrambling. The defense started to get pressure. You had Gruger Hill with that big sack knocking him out of field goal range. You had Kyle Van Noy, sack strip fumble. That one play, he didn't get the sack on it, but when he blew up that running back, that was a thing of beauty. We had Zeiler getting pressure. All of a sudden, Ginkle, they all started getting pressure. Do you think this is kind of what Brian Flores has schemed for this defense? Let's get up high, let's get some points, let's get the one-dimensional quarterback and just get after him.
Yeah, it was what we were hoping for, the last 2 weeks. We kind of did it to Allen. We kept him contained in the pocket, but no one thought he would throw for 417 yards. But, yeah, I mean, Minshew came into that game as the 7th highest rated quarterback in the NFL. He had 6 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions going in. He does run. He is mobile. But we gave him a different look that we haven't shown this year, and he was confused, and he didn't run. He didn't get a touchdown pass. His quarterback rating, was 79 when it was over 100 going in. So the pressure was, 4 sacks. We were last in sacks allowed last year, I think, with 54, and we were also last with sacks made with 23.
Yeah.
We are plus sacks right now. We had 4-1 yesterday. We had more sacks last week than we gave up. It's, it's great to see guys like Van Ginkel getting in there. Even the missed touchdown pass. I don't know who it was that applied that hit, but Minshew had a wide open receiver. I think it was Conley for the touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody nailed him when he threw the ball, and he overthrew it out of bounds. So, that constant pressure, not knowing where it's coming from and not knowing the scheme is what we, it's what we were hoping for when we got a New England Patriot defensive coordinator as our head coach. And we finally saw a taste of it. He's got a big challenge to do it next week. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, man. Last thing we're going to talk about, and you actually brought this up, so I wrote it down because it's actually a really good thing. The struggles of the secondary. Jamal Perry, horrible game yesterday. And then you brought up a very good struggle. The safeties have been struggling all season. So I'm going to let you take the floor on this one because you had some very good points about the safeties.
Yeah, and I hate to say this because I love Bobby McCain. You listen to Bobby McCain talk, and he says everything you want to hear. Everyone on the team talks about him as one of the biggest leaders in the locker room. They moved him to free safety because he's such a good communicator. The only problem is he's not a good free safety. He got torched in the Buffalo game. He looked lost last night. I just don't think we have a safety on this team. We drafted Brandon Jones in the 3rd round, and he hopefully is something we need, that in the box, Rashad Jones type safety, bring him up, stop the run. Hopefully he gets there, but the other two are not getting it done. There was a point that I mentioned before we came on that, Minshew threw a ball into double coverage, and the double coverage was Eric Rowe and Bobby McCain, and neither one of them could locate the ball, and it looked like 6th grade with when a pop fly happened and you're just looking at your best friend and the ball falls down right in the middle. But overall, they're not making plays. I think Bobby McCain has made one play early in the Patriots game. And other than that, he's just been getting torched. There's a couple safeties that are out there that are unsigned. Eric Reed, Earl Thomas, Bobby McCain's a really good nickel cornerback. I'd rather have a really good nickel cornerback and a mediocre free safety than a mediocre free safety and a mediocre nickelback. We paid him for nickelback. We tried the free safety. It's not working. Humility is a really good quality in a coach and a person and anything. So hopefully either he takes a step up or we move him back.
Yeah, man. I agree 100%. I think that was the one of the first and only things that Brian Flores did that I scratched my head at first, and then I was like, I'll give it a chance, and now I'm still like, nah, you got to move him back. It was a okay, let's try it move. It kind of worked with Eric Rowe, but it's not working with Bobby McCain. He needs to go back to nickel. But Brian, thank you so much for coming on and having this conversation. It was really good to deep dive into the game, get some more aspects on some of the negatives, some of the positive, well, mostly the positives. Hey,
we answered the age-old question, and I hate to say it because you're sitting there with a beard and I'm sitting here with a mustache, but the beard trumps mustache. Fits magic over Minshew Mania, baby.
Brian, thank you so much. This isn't going to be the last time you guys are going to see Brian on this channel. He will definitely be on some more. Be sure to go check Fin Addicts Network YouTube channel. Check out their Twitter. And like I said, there's some big things in the works. And when that gets announced, you guys will know first. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thanks for having me.
Be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Did me and Brian miss something that you guys noticed a little bit after taking a day of watching that beautiful, beautiful game? What do you guys think about some of the things we talked about? The offensive line doing really well, the running back situation, the corners stepping up, Xavier Howard having a huge bounce back game, Noah taking that memory of the Bills game, throwing it in the garbage, coming out and having a great day against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Be sure to comment below, and I'm going to get to one of you guys. Comment of the day. Now, for comment of the day, I normally pick one of you guys, right? Normally, if you guys write comment of the day and then whatever, that's what I look for, right? I look for you to say, hey, comment of the day, and then I pick one of you guys. But this time, it was a bunch of you guys who kind of said the same thing, and I kind of agreed if you guys were during the live stream hanging out and watching. And that is, you guys noticed that once we went up by a lot, right? And then once we, the Jaguars scored again, they missed their extra point. So we were up 28-13, up by 15 points. You kind of noticed that the the Dolphins kind of took their foot off the gas. You know, we got that touchdown off of the strip sack fumble, went up 28-7. They kind of went down the field, scored again. Like I said, missed the extra point, and then all of a sudden we kind of played a little bit more conservative, trying to eat the clock up. You know, we had that nice run by Fitz getting the first down, which was brought back because of a stupid penalty, which shouldn't have been a penalty because Austin Jackson was getting his face mask grabbed, but that's a horse of a different color and time for a different day. But yeah, we all noticed that they kind of took their foot off the gas, and a lot of you guys commented that it bothered you. And if you go back and watch the live stream, it kind of bothered me a little bit too. I'm like, you know, I'm not saying go out there, try to throw a bomb, potentially give them an interception, and then keep keeping them in the game if that is English at all. But definitely don't just try to run the clock out, especially since they saw it coming. They expected us to just try to run the clock out, so they were stacking the box and stopping the run. Wish they were a little bit more aggressive in that situation, you know, not even just going down the field trying to score touchdowns, but at least throwing the ball 5, 6, 7 yards down the field. Let Fitz do his thing. Don't just run the ball. But yeah, I noticed a lot of you guys were commenting that, and I was like, yeah, I get why they did it. You know, you're up. Let your defense keep doing what they were doing, because if you guys listen to what me and Brian were saying, once the Dolphins got the lead and once Minshew became a one-dimensional offense with Minshew, Dolphins were able to pin the ears back and really get some consistent pressure on him and make him either throw the ball away, get hit at some points. So, Flores was like, I'm gonna rely on my defense a little bit, but I wish he would have been a little bit more aggressive on offense, and I wish Changeli also was a little bit more aggressive on offense. But yeah, I'm reading you guys' comments. I read every single one of your guys' comments, even the ones that hate me. One guy literally said, "You're boring and I won't subscribe to you." I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But always be sure to comment below. I love reading all your comments. It's a lot, but I try to get through every single comment and read them, and that's how I pick comment of the day. And if I notice a big consensus of comments, well, I'll put them all together. But that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed bringing Brian on, doing a deeper dive into this. It's easier to do this when we play Thursday night because I have now the extra days to do what I need to do to get a deeper dive. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm probably just going to not so much be on Twitter. I'll be on Twitter, but not so much. I'm probably going to spend it with my family again. I'm turning 33. It's my birthday, so I'm going to be watching some football, hanging out with my dad, hanging out with my family, hanging out with the fiance, and all that stuff. But I will be on Twitter a little bit, maybe before, maybe after. So be sure to go check out my Twitter, check out my Instagram. Maybe I'll post a picture. Maybe I'll do a quick little video thanking you guys for the birthday wishes and everything. But again, my birthday's tomorrow. It's not today. You watching it Saturday. It's tomorrow. Also check out Fan to Fan Network, a very, very good site. They do live streams before the Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night game. So I know for a fact tomorrow at 11 o'clock, they will be live on twitch.tv/Fan to Fan Network. Also, they have a YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out. But other than that, I will see you guys Monday with the next video. I will have the picks ready for you guys to do Monday. Just so you know, I record the picks video Tuesday night, so you have until Tuesday night to get your picks in before I close the ballots. But other than that, I'll see you guys Monday. Like usual, stay classy. Fins up.